Hey class, it's Jen here. So in our first Zoom meeting, a few of you had some questions about what tools to bring to your lab. And although this week and next week we don't need many tools, it gave me an idea of a video, and that was what does a electronics or electrical tech have in their tool bag? So let's get started. I usually carry a backpack. I like them better. It's easier to carry around when you're getting on and off boats. And I find tool bags that you just carry get really, really heavy. And I have a bad back, so anything that helps that out is good in my opinion. So basically, I just have your normal backpack here that you can get at any of your hardware stores. And I've got some other little tools in there, but I'm going to show you my basic tool set here that I have on I bring down to most jobs with me. So basically, obviously we have our screwdrivers. I like the multi-bit type ones, and that way you don't have to carry so many around. I also have a little stubby one here. Square heads. Square heads are becoming very popular on boats, so I like to carry a number 2 square head driver. I also have a smaller one, a number 1. One kind of specialized tool that I do have in my bag is one of these security star bits. It's hard to see. Let's see. Anyways, it has a little kind of hole in the middle of the star there. The reason I carry this is because your CView and nav pods, electronics pods, use those to undo to get to the back of the electronics. Electronics is basically electrical work, so obviously we've got a nice pair of wire strippers here, ratcheting crimpers. These are very, very handy if you're going to be doing a lot of electrical connectors. Ratcheting crimpers are going to be saving your hands. Trust me, you do a few dozen a day, it starts to hurt. I carry 2 forms of wire cutters or diagonal cutters. These are just your normal ones, 6-inch ones. And then these are your flush cutting. These are very important for wire ties. Nothing like getting yourself scratched up on those little nubbins left on wire ties. These flush cut them down so that you don't hurt yourself. If I ever find wire ties that have been left with a little nubbin on there, I always cut them off with my flush cutters. Crescent wrench. I always like to get the ones with the coating or something on the handle. That way if you accidentally get your positive and negative on your wrench, you don't create a nice spark coming out of your batteries. Obviously, your cutters or your box cutter type things, needle nose, carry some smaller little screwdrivers. This is also one of the multi-tool ones. That's for your small electronic screws and terminal blocks and stuff that sometimes you run into. Flashlights. Flashlights are always key, whether it's just a light like this guy or just a kind of pencil light. Always carry a flashlight with you. I actually carry one in my pocket all the time. Multimeter is very important. Everybody should have a multimeter of some sort. This is a Craftsman multimeter, and it has the DC amp clamp, which is kind of nice. Safety glasses. Label makers. Always label your wires. Trust me, you will appreciate it the next time you have to go down to that boat and you don't remember what you did. These are just a big pair of wire cutters. When you have to cut something larger than 8 gauge, usually your normal diagonal cutters don't cut it. So I just carry a little bit bigger pair of wire cutters. AC tester. Always good to know whether you're going to get electrocuted or not. Tape measure. I also like to carry some electrical tape, and then this is that rescue tape, self-adhering, waterproofs everything. And then obviously we have our heat shrinker for our waterproof connectors and our heat shrink, and then the fuel for that. This guy here is kind of a cool little snazzy USB charger that works off the Milwaukee batteries. They also make a 12-volt version. That way I can always have my tunes playing, or answering phone calls. So that is the basic kit that I like to have on me whenever I go down to a boat. Some other things that I always carry is I have a little kit here of connectors. excuse me. It basically consists of both your ATC and glass tube type fuses, as well as some MRBF fuses, ANL fuses. Then I have a little thing of some screws, and then zip ties and holders, and then your heat shrink and insulated connectors. Each one, you know, basically just has a good selection of each types, and that way I don't have to carry a whole bunch, but I also have what I need. And then, for instance, there's like fuses, nicely labeled. I wish I was that organized usually, but I'm not. And then in the side pockets I have like MRBF fuse holders, extra heat shrink, extra butane fuel for that heat shrinker, and then some inline fuses, fuse holders. So that is something I also always bring down to a boat. Extra things that I keep up in the car just in case. We obviously got drills. I like the 12 volt drills. They're a bit lighter than your big 18 volt. However, sometimes you need that extra power. So I have an 18 volt kit that I keep up in the car too. Depending on what brands you like, every time around Christmas, Home Depot has sales on Milwaukee batteries, so I've got lots of batteries because I always buy them every year. Another thing I like to carry, and this actually fits in my backpack, is a small 1/4-inch socket drive set. That's our handles, and then we have a little bag of the millimeter sockets, and then our SAE sockets as well. And then in the handles, I also got some like extensions, another handle, and just some other little things. So that's kind of a cool little kit. Doesn't weigh a lot. Can fit in my backpack, or I can just carry it down on its own. Life jacket, safety first, right? There's your safety glasses. Life jackets I don't wear all the time. However, if it's a like snowy day or rainy day, or I'm outside and it's windy, yes, I will wear it then. So that's the main core group of tools that I like to bring down with me on my backpack. Usually what I will have is just my backpack and this little bag of connectors and stuff. Some extra things that we like to keep up in the car for certain jobs. Multi-tools, as I like to call them, or oscillating tools, sometimes they're known as. Basically, they're the tool that make a lot of noise. Yeah, and vibrate like crazy. However, they are very, very useful when cutting out holes for electronic units like VHFs and flush mounting MFDs and stuff. You can get a nice, fine, precise cut with this. Takes a little practice, but this tool comes in is so useful when installing larger projects. You can get kits of different blades. They have little sander attachments, all kinds of attachments. Another thing we carry in the car is what we call our battery testing kit. It basically has a battery conductance tester and a fancy-dancy FLIR multimeter that we got off a promotional deal, which was awesome. But so we have just a nice RMS, true RMS multimeter here. And then also we keep in here some baking soda, kind of spilled out of the bag, spilled out of its box. But that way, in case we run into some acid on the batteries, we can throw the baking soda on it. And also in there, I also occasionally keep a 4-amp battery charger, and that way if we run into a boat that has a low battery, we can throw that little portable 4-amp charger on there and charge those batteries and see if that helps maybe some of the issues they might be having. That is the basic things we carry. Oh, one last thing. A little portable troubleshooting case, as I like to call it. A lot of times we get customers who said, hey, you know, my VHF isn't working, or my something small, a light or something isn't working, and we need to just go down and troubleshoot for like 15 minutes. I don't necessarily want to carry all these tools down to the boat just for 15 minutes. So what I do have is a little tiny kit here. And basically what we have in this is just a small screwdriver. We also have some small, just little Phillips and flathead screwdriver there. A little box cutter, pins, and then a pair of wire cutters and a crescent wrench. This one doesn't have that coating, but that's right. Just make sure to be careful if you are using it. So that's just a nice little troubleshooting kit that I've put together. It's nice, easy to carry, and don't forget the tape measure. And it just helps out, helps me get down to a boat quickly, and isn't too expensive, and is easy to carry. All right, I think that's it. Hope to see you guys in lab this week, and stay safe, stay dry. It's kind of rainy out there, and we will see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.